Cronkite News, the Sun Devils' Hawaiian vacation is more of a business trip, and last night's big finish is a must-see.
Plus, could this be the end of an era for one Diamondback star?
Political violence is, and we know what causes it, too.
And Senator Mark Kelly is being investigated by the Pentagon for alleged misconduct. Find out how the Arizona senator responded. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Grace Johnson.
And I'm Nate Mills. Thank you for joining us tonight. Plenty of sports news. Let's tip off with ASU's men's hoops. Our top story, Pepperdine transfer Mo Odom, who turned into Maui Mo last night in the Hawaii Invitational against the Texas Longhorns.
Yeah, Nate, he definitely came up clutch for sure. Down to less than 30 to go, Odom hit this unreal triple to go up 87-86, and get this, that put him at 36 points on the night. Good for a career high in scoring. He is seriously stepping into a leadership role on this now 5-1 squad after the Devils held on for the win.
And Coach Bobby Hurley's team advances to play Washington State in the semifinals tonight. Meanwhile, ASU women's hoops holds down the fort in Tempe against Utah Tech. They're still undefeated.
And down south, the #2 Wildcats continue to crush it. Five-star freshman Braden Burries punching on the opposition with this jam. U of A beats Denver 103-73 with alumni Carter Bryant and Dylan Harper watching. Now that you're caught up on Sun Devil and Wildcat basketball,
one game this week has the attention of both of those fan bases, and it has a storied history.
Staying in Phoenix for a long time. I don't think he ever plans on getting rid of it, so we might as well write ASU on that one for now.
The Arizona Wildcats will take home the Territorial Cup.
How intense the rivalry really is. It comes down to the will, power to win. On
off the corner, Plummer gets away for a moment, then the ball is gone. Scoop down at the one. Arizona State ball.
And they're going to run it with Wiley, and he's got the first down. Wiley is gone. Michael Wiley, touchdown.
Thwarted in 1899, ASU and U of A football are on a streak of competing for the Territorial Cup every year since 1946.
And this year it means just as much as ever for the Sun Devils, who are still very much alive in the Big 12 title race. But that path to Dallas is a little complicated. Reminds me a bit of Coach Dillingham, a clip from him last year.
He was telling me if we win and somebody else loses, and then like ranch dressing falls on a wing, I don't really know. It just play the very best you can play, prepare the very best you can prepare, and like I told the guys last week in my leadership council meeting, like don't get lost in the sauce.
Hammond extends. He lets it fly to the
ASU wins on Friday. They have to hope that either BYU loses to UCF or Texas Tech and Utah both take L's.
It should be a very entertaining Territorial Cup, to say the least, Nate. Both of these teams will have some questions to answer in the offseason, however.
That's right, Grace. Both teams have a few key players that could head to the NFL or go to a different school altogether. Here's Johan Lopez on what these schools are dealing with this era of college football.
Former Arizona State Athletic Director Ray Anderson was among the panelists at Bud Selig's speaker series at the Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law. Anderson, along with NFL's Arthur McAfee III, offered insight on the new age of NIL in college football and how it impacts the pro leagues.
It impacts us in our player engagement area. It impacts us on coaching and development. It impacts us on our financial education offering. And we're also considering what happens with the changes in the administration on the collegiate level.
It's been 2 years since Ray Anderson left his role as Arizona State's AD. These days he's teaching law here at the university. And today he made one thing clear. He does not believe the way NIL is operating now can hold up.
Real threat, from my perspective, that really disturbs me is the ultimate threat to non-revenue sports and Olympic sports in college. Because if you got to feed football first, somebody's going to starve.
From outside looking in, Anderson thinks Kenny Dillingham, who he hired in 2023, is doing a fantastic job with the program. But with the reports of quarterback Sam Levitt exploring his options in the transfer portal, and with the transfer portal essentially being a year-to-year landscape, Anderson thinks there should be a limited amount of times a player can transfer.
It can't be every year is free agency. So if you get one free agency year, take it, but if you want to transfer again, then they should, in my opinion, institute the sit-out rule for the following year.
It will be interesting to see how NIL will age in the next few years. Reporting in Phoenix, Johan Lopez for Cronkite News.
And speaking of the NFL, the holiday season is here, and the Arizona Cardinals are taking the opportunity to give back to the community.
Yeah, last night players were out at the Phoenix Rescue Mission. And this marked the 23rd year of the event as the Cards served all the usual Turkey Day menu items to over 150 women and children. And Nate, this food is making me hungry.
You know, they got stuffing back here, but usually the way we make stuffing back at home, my mom has somebody cutting the onions, cutting the celery, so just being able to do those things is something that I've always enjoyed about Thanksgiving. As an offensive lineman, you know, we love this time of year, but, you know, we got to be careful knowing that we got a game this weekend, but I always enjoy this time of the year because knowing that, you know, you're giving of yourself to some folks that just may not, you know, have everything that you may have.
Coming up next on Cronkite News.
More on the future of one Diamondback star. Arlene Napoli joins us from the newsroom.
That's right. Zach Gallen might not be dealing for the D-backs by the time next season comes around.
Yeah, right now we're just going through the process and going to see what happens.
Find out about his plans after the break.
Plus, we're just days away from the Territorial Cup out at Mountain America Stadium. So what kind of weather can we expect? Your forecast is next.
As a teacher, you just want to reach people. You want to make a difference. You want to help them. I have an opportunity to do something I never imagined I would be able to do. Go out and build the best biology class the world has ever seen. When you go into Dreamscape Learn, you put on a set of goggles and you can go anywhere. You can be anyone and do anything. The thing about Arizona State University is they're always thinking about what's next. We can create virtual reality experiences so that you can learn by exploring in a virtual world the way that scientists explore in the real world. And kids can feel that. All these emotions are what help the brain encode information. When I see a student come out of VR, the look on their face is nothing like I've ever seen when I finish a lecture. They look so happy to be there in that moment. You know that you've reached them.
Welcome back. The Major League Baseball free agent class of 2025 has some pretty notable players, including Diamondbacks pitcher Zach Gallen.
Gallen recently turned down the D-backs one-year, $22 million qualifying offer. But is there any hope he stays in Arizona? Lainey Napoli joins us with more on the pitcher's future. Lainey?
All right, so Zach Gallen was out in the community recently and spoke for the first time since turning down that D-backs offer. Gallen was a valued member of this Arizona pitching staff for 7 years. And although he had the worst season of his career in 2025, experts still expect him to command a sizable contract on the open market. We caught up with Gallen and asked if there is any way he'd return to the Snakes.
I would love to be back here. I'd love to be here for the rest of my career. But I think what sometimes gets lost in translation is that's not necessarily always up to the player. So, yeah, I mean, if the opportunity is there and it's something that we deem that is the right fit for us as myself as a player and me and my soon-to-be wife as a family, then yeah, we'll explore that. But yeah, right now we're just going through that process and going to see what happens.
Besides exploring his baseball options, Gallen has been spending his offseason giving back to the community. Playing wiffle ball with kids at a local Boys and Girls Club, the pitcher reminisced about his favorite moments in a D-backs uniform, including that memorable World Series run in 2023. And he had a message for fans.
The whole run in 23, I think, was super special, just because we had got in, we were playing with house money. At that point, we didn't know what was going to happen. There was no expectation. So for me, that's just that whole entire month. I mean, even more. I mean, even in the month of September, we were playing with our backs against the wall. I just hope the fans understand that, every time I took the ball, every fifth day, whatever it was, when it was my day to pitch, like, I went out there as prepared as I could be. Whatever happens with the results happened. But the one thing I could, relay to the fans that when I went out there, I was prepared. Healthy or not, whatever it was, I was ready to go. Just tried to make pitches, get outs, and help us win the baseball game.
Gallen said he's finding the free agent process a bit slow, but that it's also not the top of his mind, given the fact that he is planning a wedding right now. Gallen and his fiancée are set to get married in 2 weeks. Projections have Gallen moving on from Arizona. We'll see how this free agency plays out. In the newsroom, Lainey Napoli, Cronkite News.
Thanks so much, Lainey. The Arizona Fall League welcomed minor league baseball players from all across the country, but our London Christensen caught up with one player whose pursuit of making it to the show brought him home, back to where it all started.
For Justin Chambers, pitching in the Arizona Fall League meant an opportunity to pursue his big league dreams, while playing just a stone's throw or a split-fingered fastball from where he grew up.
It's such a cool opportunity. Like, I'm here, my parents can come to all the games, stuff like that. My friends can come, and it's just like an easy 45-minute drive for them.
Chambers grew up in Chandler and spent his first 3 years at Higley High School before finishing up his prep career at Basha in 2023.
Went to 2 high schools out here. I went to Higley High School in Gilbert and then Basha and Chandler. Both were great opportunities. I definitely think all the coaches there helped me get to where I am today.
Chambers says strong coaching has been key to his success in baseball, including his time under Basha head coach Eric Albright.
He was a dude. He threw hard. He had command. He had a little attitude on the mound, and he wanted to be great.
Coming out of high school, Chambers was drafted in the 20th round by the Milwaukee Brewers and then traded to the Dodgers just months later. Albright says the right-hander's talent and work ethic were clear from the start, and Arizona's competitive baseball environment has only pushed him to improve.
The level of competition, anywhere you play in the Valley, you're going to face good talent, if not elite talent, because you're finding guys get drafted and go to the next level and play baseball.
For the Chambers family, the biggest benefit is being able to watch Justin continue to grow, both on and off the field.
Having him be close, if he needs that support, we're right here. He has a dream, and we're just excited to hopefully see him have that dream achieved.
As Chambers chases his dream towards playing in the big leagues, he knows his support system in Arizona will be with him every pitch of the way. In Glendale, London Christensen, Cronkite News.
And one Valley sports team has a brand new look.
Yeah, Nate, the Mighty Mercury have all new merch after the team's trip to the finals last season. Different logos, fonts, and jerseys were announced yesterday and today, and fans should make sure to check these out.
And Satu Sabali was out at the Suns game last night, taking part in the new first shot tradition and repping the new look. The Suns hosting the Rockets at Mortgage matchup, and after the big trade between these teams over the summer, fans definitely had this one circled on the calendar. Dylan Brooks was going full villain mode against his former team, dropping 29 points and picking up a technical foul and a flagrant foul. Houston snaps Phoenix's win streak, though, 114-92 in the final. We'll see if the Suns can bounce back after the loss at home. Their NBA Cup schedule picks back up tomorrow in Sacramento with a game against the Kings, and then on Friday with a game at the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Suns and the Thunder are currently tied for first place in their NBA Cup group. Should be an exciting game.
Exciting indeed. The NBA Cup will take a break for Thanksgiving, which is, of course, just a few days away. So what will the weather be like?
Erica Hoyt joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with our Turkey Day forecast.
Nice cool evening for your Tuesday. 65 by 7 p.m. with calm winds, cooling down to 61 by 10 p.m. But will still be cold. Up north, we're below freezing in Flagstaff, Grand Canyon, Holbrook, and Window Rock. Window Rock sitting at 22 degrees. 50s along the west and 55 for Phoenix. But we'll soon warm up to above average temperatures around 77 in Phoenix, 70s out towards our west, 55 in the Grand Canyon, 54 in Flagstaff. Now, when we take a look at the big picture, there is going to be some snow conditions up in Chicago area that will soon push out into your Thursday for Thanksgiving. It will soon push towards the East Coast. And when we take a look at Monday morning, look at this. We're seeing some rain in the Phoenix metro area. Now, your Thanksgiving here in the Valley will be absolutely perfect. We're looking at highs of 76 degrees. A very nice evening indeed. Now, if you're heading out to the ASU Arizona football game, 75 will be your high with a low of 53. And taking a look at your 8-day forecast, we'll see that it will be nice and cool afternoons throughout Wednesday through Friday, and even Saturday, 74 degrees, 71 on Sunday. And cooling down after that disturbance on Monday, 68 degrees, lows 49 degrees. From the Cronkite Weather Center, I'm Erica Hoyt.
Coming up next, a look at tonight's news headlines.
Keon Russell joins us now with a look at what we can expect. Keon?
That's right. Coming up next, a look at home cuts to the Affordable Care Act could impact some in our state.
Scare tactics which really harm my patients because they become fearful and they go, so I need to pay for these expensive insurance plans.
More on the potential cuts and a look at the rest of the day's news from across the country. Coming up right here on Cronkite News.
This is where Cronkite can be creative.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Keon Russell, and here's tonight's news headlines. The FBI is reportedly trying to schedule interviews with Arizona Senator Mark Kelly and 5 other Democratic senators. According to CNN, those senators urged service members to disobey illegal orders in a controversial video released on social media last week. After this video was released, President Donald Trump responded by saying that it was seditious behavior and punishable by death. The senators involved say they were just restating the law in the video, but the Pentagon later said it will investigate Senator Kelly due to serious allegations of misconduct. Kelly responded later yesterday.
We know what political violence is, and we know what causes it, too. You know, the statements that Donald Trump made is insightful, incites others. He's got millions of supporters. People listen to what he says more so than anybody else in the country. And he should be careful with his words. But I'm not going to be silenced here.
As for the FBI's involvement, the senators accused President Trump of using the agency to intimidate and harass members of Congress. Meanwhile, temporary Affordable Care Act subsidies created during the pandemic are set to expire soon, affecting millions, including families right here in the Southwest. To see the impact firsthand, reporter Jacob Shanker traveled to Austin, Texas, where communities are already feeling the pressure.
Making the state one of the highest in the nation for ACA enrollees.
Now, the state is expected to be hit the hardest.
The premiums have been super helpful for our clients. They've helped some people get as little as a $0 monthly premium on their health coverage.
Foundation Communities is an Austin-based nonprofit that helps Central Texans enroll in marketplace health plans at no cost.
That can be a really complicated process to do on your own, so we're here to help people through that process.
Foundation Communities works closely with the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, also known as HAM, a nonprofit third party that helps connect musicians in the Austin area with affordable healthcare market plans, as a lot of small business owners and musicians in the Austin area are insured under ACA programs.
Our musicians are the lifeblood of our community, and so we're here to make sure that they stay healthy and can continue doing what they love to do.
The expiring ACA premium tax credit enhancements will mostly affect people earning more than 400% of the federal poverty line and lawfully present immigrants. This puts many at risk of losing coverage.
Most of the folks that have chosen not to enroll have seen very significant increases, like double their premiums or more.
And affordability isn't the only hurdle. ACA enrollees have to report their income. According to AKFF reports, nearly half of adults enrolled in the ACA are self-employed, and gig work is often unpredictable, with income changing month to month for some. Yet even small changes can affect their premiums and coverage.
You want to have a successful career and make as much money as possible, but then you think about trying to fit within that threshold so that you don't make too much to where you lose out on your insurance and end up owing money back.
Misinformation and strong rhetoric surrounding these changes are adding to the confusion. Some providers say it is making it harder for subscribers to understand what the policy shifts actually mean.
That's scare tactics, which really harm my patients because they become fearful and they go, so I need to pay for these expensive insurance plans. Subsidies go straight to the insurance companies. They don't go to patients.
As enrollment continues, experts say it's important for people to understand all their options and the costs involved. From Austin, Jacob Shanker, Cronkite News.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, known as OB3, which will end the enhanced premium subsidies at the end of the year. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. and Ak-Chin Indian Community Chairman Gabe Lopez announced funding for a new urgent care facility. The current facility operates out of a double-wide trailer and does not include primary care, dental, or radiology. The funding award will include those services and expand the trailer into a 60,000 square foot healthcare center. The facility will be for the Ak-Chin community, neighboring tribes, and those in rural Arizona. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is looking to the skies to test the limits of artificial intelligence. Earlier this week, President Trump signed an executive order to launch the project known as the Genesis Mission. The Department of Energy will team up with tech companies and academics for the endeavor. The Genesis mission hopes to further research in physics, chemistry, nuclear fission, and space exploration. However, the announcement was met with some criticism, a leading concern being that AI technology drains natural resources and requires stronger regulation. The national average price of gasoline has now risen year over year for 8 straight days as of Monday. It represents a big swing from earlier this year. But experts predict cheaper prices may be on the way. According to the AAA, the national average for regular gas stood at about $3.05 a gallon. That's a tick lower than last year at this time. Gas Buddy projects the average national price at the pump on Thanksgiving will drop to $3.02. That will tie for the lowest Thanksgiving price since the pandemic in 2020. That's it for tonight's news headlines. I'm Keon Russell. Thank you for joining us. Now back to you, Grace and Nate.
Thanks so much, Keon. Well, Nate, we are just days away from Thanksgiving.
Which means it's time for the annual presidential turkey party. And that's just what happened today at the White House. After the break, we'll take a look at the changes made to the historic ceremony.
Into those early morning lows, we're up north.
Trail runs about a mile long and not only features different textures and terrain.
65 to 63 after Florida's defense stopped it.
Well, Nate, Turkey Day is right around the corner, but what's underway for this upcoming Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Let's take a look at the balloons expected to show up in this year's lineup.
Volunteers did a test flight of their balloons to prepare for the day. Some popular additions to the lineup include Pac-Man, Shrek, Mario, and Buzz Lightyear. The balloons are around 3 to 4 stories tall, and this is the 99th year of the famous parade. Also ahead of Thanksgiving, President Trump pardoned 2 turkeys.
Their names are Gobble and Waddle, and they each received pardons this afternoon following a ceremony in the White House Rose Garden. Today marks the 78th National Turkey Presentation. The president did stray a little from tradition this year by choosing 2 turkeys instead of 1. After today's ceremonies, the turkeys will move to Raleigh, North Carolina to live out their retirement.
That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Grace Johnson.
And I'm Nate Mills. Thank you for joining us.